This girl's life is heartbreaking. Sophia faces relentless bullying from her classmates every single day. She attends an elite aristocratic academy, but unlike her peers, who come from high-ranking noble families, Sophia's just an ordinary noble. That makes her an easy target for nearly everyone. The worst of the bullies is Carissa, a girl who takes every chance to humiliate Sophia. Carissa and her clique mock Sophia's lower status, her appearance, even her body, sneering that she's ugly and flat-chested. It's cruel. Once, Carissa went so far as to lock Sophia in a box for hours, all to steal her boyfriend. Sophia's despair pushes her to the edge. She even considers ending her life. But then, in just 3 days, everything changes. Suddenly, Sophia becomes the most famous girl in school. The hottest noble guys across the kingdom are lining up to propose to her. Now it's Carissa who's consumed by rage and jealousy, spiraling into her own personal hell. How did this happen? Let's talk about the world's rules. In this universe, everyone at 16 draws an animal card, each tied to a god with wildly different powers. Some grow wings and shoot from the sky. Others gain cheetah-like speed, shattering human limits. Sophia's fate shifts when she draws the gorilla god, a card so rare it appears once a century. She secretly consults the principal about its powers. He's been at the school for decades and has never seen this card before. He tells her the gorilla god is the ultimate combat deity, destined to make Sophia the kingdom's fiercest female warrior. But Sophia's terrified of fighting and death. When Carissa taunts her, asking which god she drew, Sophia stays silent. Carissa doesn't care about the answer, she just wants to torment her. During lunch, Sophia eats alone. As usual, in this school, higher titles equal popularity, and kindness, it's worthless. She's used to the isolation. Then she spots a squirrel and shares her bread with it. That small act sparks a bond that will shape her future. After school, the principal summons Sophia. Because of the gorilla god's power, she must take the Royal Knight's entrance test. Most who draw this card join the Knights. Fearing punishment for refusing, Sophia agrees but plans to flunk the test on purpose. On her way to the test, Sophia helps an elderly man move heavy goods, revealing strength that outshines Captain America, but she gets lost afterward. Enter Lewis, a boy just a tad handsomer than me. He guides her to the test site and wipes dirt from her face. In that moment, Sophia feels sparks. She's smitten. Reality snaps her back. At the test, she's the only girl, and her nerves spike when she realizes Lewis is the examiner. The first test is a 100-meter sprint to measure explosive power. A guy named Arshant goes first, clocking an impressive 9 seconds, near world record territory on Earth. Without Sophia, he'd take first, but the gorilla god's power surges through her. She smashes through a wall and covers hundreds of meters in the same 9 seconds. The crowd, just moments ago mocking her, falls silent. Sophia's mortified by the attention. The second test is riskier. Climb to the top floor, then rappel down the outer wall using ropes. While others hesitate, gripped by fear of heights, a guy named Eddie starts. His agility and reflexes are top-notch. Arshant, despite his stellar sprint, cowers, paralyzed by heights. Sophia offers to climb with him. It goes smoothly until Arshant's rope snaps mid-descent. In a flash, Sophia grabs him with one hand, landing them both safely. Even Lewis is stunned. He pulls Sophia aside, not for a lecture, but to bandage a cut on her hand from the rescue. As he holds her hand, Sophia's heart races. In near-death moments, people say your life flashes before your eyes. That's how Sophia feels right now. Certain Lewis is about to confess his love. She thinks her past good deeds have earned her a dreamy husband. Nope, Lewis is just fascinated by her strength. How could this girl unleash such power to save someone? Respectfully, he doesn't pry. Sophia's relieved the bandaging takes so long she misses the third test, combat. She figures she'll score as 0, ensuring she fails the exam. Results won't come for a few days. On her way home with Arshant, she learns Lewis is a prodigy. Before even drawing a god at 16, he joined the Royal Knights on raw talent alone. As they chat, they spot a group of test-takers harassing Eddie, mocking him as a bastard for his lineage, just like Carissa's cruel clique. Sophia and Arshant step in. The bullies turn on them. Arshant shields Sophia, taking a hit, while Eddie fights back, dropping one attacker. A bully, assuming Sophia's the weakest because she's a girl, swings at her. Big mistake. She hurls him into a tree. After the dust settles, Eddie, piecing together Sophia's test performance, guesses her god is the gorilla. Arshant's physically gifted. Eddie's a genius. But Eddie envies Sophia's raw power. He reveals the continent has 2 supreme combat gods, one being the gorilla. A classic trio forms: Eddie, the stoic type like Uchiha Sasuke; Arshant, the fiery Naruto-esque optimist; and Sophia, kind-hearted like Sakura. Their bond deepens today. For a fleeting moment, Sophia wants to pass the test to stay with them. As if the gods heard her, the principal announces she passed. Even better, Eddie and Arshant transfer to her class, acting chummy with her. This ticks off Carissa. During a break, Sophia begs Eddie and Arshant to keep her Gorilla God and Knight's test a secret. She wants to stay low-key to avoid Carissa's wrath. That hope crumbles when Lewis shows up at school. He's usually busy with Knight's duties but is also a student here. When he chats with Sophia, she feels her classmates' glares. She cuts him off, dreading the fallout. Sure enough, Carissa's bullying ramps up. At lunch, Sophia's no longer alone. Her trio draws eyes. Lewis joins them, sitting next to her. To dodge trouble, Sophia scarfs down her food and bolts. Lewis, ever thoughtful, notices she barely ate and brings her muffins. This pushes Carissa's jealousy to the breaking point. Carissa's crew now harasses Sophia multiple times a day, their taunts growing nastier. During a night's assembly, Arshant notices Sophia's spirit is crushed. A group of men enters, led by Schwal, the Royal Knights commander. Welcoming the recruits, he spots Sophia's long hair, warning it could obscure her vision in battle. He suggests a trim. That night, Sophia tries cutting it herself and botches it. At dawn, she sets out to fix her hair at a salon. She bumps into Lewis on patrol and asks for a salon recommendation. He takes her to a friend's shop. The owner, a bald, scarred, menacing guy, looks more like a demon king than a barber. Lewis explains he's a former knight, just with villainous vibes. The haircut's a success, and Sophia's thrilled. Lewis even covers the bill, apologizing for not warning her about the hair issue that led to Schwal's comment. Sophia's touched and vows to repay him. Noticing Lewis eyeing a cake shop, she learns he loves sweets but feels awkward entering as a guy. Seizing her chance, Sophia treats him to afternoon tea. Half the girls watching swoon over Lewis, the other half want Sophia gone. Lewis, usually mature, turns kid-like in the cake shop, ordering a dozen desserts. Sophia teases him about his love life. To her delight, Lewis is a battlefield veteran but a complete rookie in romance, prime husband material. He confides he's guessed her god is the gorilla, the only deity that could grant her such strength. Their chat feels friendly yet flirty, though it's too soon for confessions. After tea, Sophia wonders which god blesses someone as gentle as Lewis. Meanwhile, the Knights captains review Sophia's file, each eager to recruit the gorilla gods chosen. One captain acts fast, Adler, the sharpshooting team leader with wings for mid-air sniping. His marksmanship as the recruits. During shooting practice, most newbies, including Sophia, struggle. She accidentally crushes her gun, unable to control her strength. Adler stays kind, unbothered by her mistake. That night, the Knights leaders, from captains to Schwal, clash fiercely. The issue? They all want Sophia on their team. Sophia's in a bind. Her family sent her a bright red dress for the school party, but she knows wearing something that flashy will make her a target for Carissa's cruel attention. So, she stuffs the dress in her closet and opts for an old, worn-out gown from her middle school days. Enter Carissa, strutting in with her dance partner, Leo Hart. She mocks Sophia's cheap dress and smugly declares that you can't attend the party without a male partner. Sophia's mortified and tries to bolt, only to crash into Lewis, the school heartthrob. You can probably guess what happens next. Yep, Lewis steps up as Sophia's dance partner, saving the day. This sparks jealousy among the other girls, especially Carissa. She rounds up a couple of cronies to mess with Sophia, but thanks to the gorilla god's power, Sophia dodges their prank. But bigger trouble's brewing. Lewis confides in Sophia that the Night Corps received a letter from a shady group claiming a bomb's been planted at the party. The attendees are mostly noble kids, and their parents refuse to cancel the event, dismissing the threat as a bluff. Lewis is there to secretly investigate whether the bomb's real or just a sick joke. While all this is going on, the partygoers are fixated on Sophia, their jealousy growing thicker by the second. Carissa and her crew try to humiliate her again, and though Lewis steps in, he's a split second too late. Sophia's dress gets shredded. Lewis wraps her in his jacket and offers to buy her a new one, but Sophia, not wanting to distract him from the bomb investigation, admits she has another dress. So, she slips into that bold red gown she'd hidden away. While changing, she runs into Leo Hart, Carissa's creepy partner, who seems way too interested in her and tries to stop her from leaving. Luckily, Arshant and Eddie show up, and Leo Hart scurries off. They're also helping Lewis with the bomb hunt but have zero leads so far. They're even starting to think the bomb might not exist. As they head back to the party, Eddie, who's a whiz at styling, gives Sophia a killer new hairstyle. Oh, and they drop a bombshell. There's no rules saying you need a dance partner to attend the party. Carissa lied. Carissa, unfazed by her own deception, is livid seeing Sophia chummy with the guys. She hatches another cruel plan, sending Irene, a girl who's not even close to her inner circle, to trick Sophia. Irene pretends she lost an earring, and Sophia, being the kind soul she is, offers to help look for it. Following Irene's lead, Sophia crawls into a wooden crate, only to hear it lock behind her. She could easily smash it open with the gorilla god's power, but she hesitates, worried Carissa will take it out on Irene for failing the task. Then, chaos strikes. Some students, mistaking the crate for something else, start moving it, with Sophia still inside. Sophia's done letting things spiral out of control. Once the students leave, she obliterates the crate. Free at last, she spots a squirrel, one she recognizes from feeding it before. Sophia doesn't have many friends, so she pours her heart out to this little guy, even admitting she held back to protect Irene from Carissa's wrath. She's also lingering outside the party to give Louis's admirers a chance to swoop in. The squirrel seems stunned, like it can't believe someone could be this kind. Then, Sophia hears noises outside and, thinking it might be bomb-related, goes to check. Two suspicious guys spot her and try to grab her. Big mistake. With the gorilla god's strength and speed, Sophia takes them down effortlessly. The guys are terrified, convinced she's the real villain here. Just then, the squirrel reappears and leads her straight to the bomb. The captured men refuse to spill how to disarm it, even if it means getting blown up. With time running out and no chance to get help, Sophia comes up with a wild plan. She grabs the bomb, leaps out a window, and sprints at full speed, powered by the gorilla god. Her goal, get the bomb far from the crowd to protect everyone she cares about. In an empty courtyard, she eats the bomb skyward. It explodes mid-air, blending with the party's fireworks. No one notices, except Leo Hart, who seems to know more than he's letting on. Sophia's friends catch up, learning about the mysterious intruders and the bomb. Louis shows up too, but he's acting distant, like something's weighing on him from earlier. Here's the twist. Carissa and her crew come to apologize. Their antics were reported to a teacher, and they thought Sophia died in the explosion. Carissa's no saint, but she didn't mean to kill her. Sophia, seeing genuine remorse, forgives her. She's got bigger things to focus on and doesn't want to stay enemies with Carissa forever. The Night Corps later discovers the bomb was planted by a group opposing the king, but the two intruders escaped, leaving no further clues. Worse, Sophia hasn't seen Louis since the party. Just when she's feeling down, the Night Corps' rookies get thrown into a special training mission, pulling her focus. They're sent to a freezing, low-visibility snowy mountain. The task? Haul heavy gear to a mountaintop lodge, spend the night, and descend the next day. The trainees' physical conditions vary, but Sophia's gorilla god blessing keeps her going. Eddie, though, is struggling and takes a bad fall. Sophia dives to save him, only to tumble off a cliff herself. When she comes to, she's miraculously unharmed but has no idea how much time has passed. She finds a nearby cabin to hole up for the night. Problem is, she lost her fire starting kit. Just as she's about to search for it, her kit appears at the door, along with that familiar squirrel. Sophia's saved from freezing, and she's starting to think this squirrel looks a lot like the one from school. Exhausted, she passes out. When she wakes, there's a naked guy in the cabin. Yep, it's Louis. Sophia's half convinced she's hallucinating her dream guy in some near-death fantasy. But when Louis wakes up, it's real. He begs her to grab his gear nearby, clearly embarrassed, and explains what's going on. Turns out, Louis is blessed by the squirrel god. Most people just get a physical boost, but he can briefly transform into a squirrel. The catch? He can't control when he changes back. When Sophia fell off the cliff, Louis instinctively jumped after her. His squirrel form's knack for sniffing out stuff in the snow helped him find her and the fire starting kit. But by the time he reached the cabin, he was so wiped out he collapsed. Louis drops another bombshell. He's the squirrel from school. Sophia's mortified. She confessed her crush on Louis to that squirrel. Louis, blushing hard, admits he's been conflicted about her feelings. After hearing her confession, he didn't know how to handle it, which is why he's been distant. But seeing her fall off that cliff, he didn't hesitate to follow. That's when he knew he was in love with her. Brave, kind, Sophia's everything Louis admires. The cabin's practically steaming from his confession. Just as he leans in for a kiss, Arshant barges in, kicking the door down. Louis goes flying into the snow, and it's anyone's guess if he's okay. Talk about terrible timing. After wrapping up special training, everyone's stoked for the Christmas break. The school throws a Christmas party for students sticking around. Sophia finally reunites with Louis. They haven't seen each other since confessing their feelings. Louis, bursting with pent-up longing, pulls Sophia into a tight hug. Shy as ever, Sophia's nervous about other girls noticing but secretly loves the moment's warmth. Louis's insane popularity quickly pulls them apart, leaving Sophia to navigate the party solo. Luckily, her buddies Eddie and Arshant bring some comfort. Eddie, grateful for Sophia's help during training, gifts her a hair clip. The usually cool, stoic guy even blushes. a rare sight. Next, Arshant pulls Sophia aside and gives her a scarf. Truth is, he's been crushing on her since the Royal Knight's test, but nerves get the better of him, and he fumbles the confession. Sophia, clueless, thinks it's just a friendly gift. Poor Arshant gets friend-zoned hard and slinks off, totally bummed. Meanwhile, Sophia's over the moon. Louis, bummed he couldn't give her a gift at the party, swings by her dorm. Sophia's never been big on holidays and didn't prep a gift either, but knowing Louis was swarmed by girls at the party, she figures he missed out on the food and packs him some pastries. To Louis, Sophia's thoughtfulness means more than any gift, spotting the hair clip and scarf. Though, he gets jealous and wants to go public with their relationship. Sophia's worried about backlash from other girls and begs to keep things low-key for now. Louis sees she's torn and doesn't push. Instead, he picks up where they left off with an interrupted kiss from before. That kiss sends the room's sweetness meter through the roof. Maybe it's their first. Because they're both so nervous they end up tumbling onto the couch. Clearly, they're not ready to take things further that night and part ways quickly. Louis probably regrets it, though, since his competition's only growing. That day, Adler from the shooting team, dodging his own swarm of admirers, spots Sophia patrolling the town. He can't wrap his head around this tiny girl being linked to a gorilla god and tails her. When he sees Sophia single-handedly take down two burly troublemakers for the townsfolk, he's intrigued. Adler asks Sophia for afternoon tea, but she turns him down, his first ever rejection. The guy's ego takes a hit. Meanwhile, Arshant and Eddie are also moping, unable to stop thinking about Sophia during the break. Worried she's got a secret crush, Sophia's oblivious to the drama, dealing with her own worries. Carissa catches her doing Royal Knight's work. Though Sophia made peace with Carissa before, she still wants to keep her night gig under wraps. Surprisingly, Carissa's changed since their truce. Instead of mocking Sophia, she calls her night role super cool and starts fishing for details about the other members, hoping to pick a boyfriend. Sophia's confused. She thought Carissa was with Leohart. Carissa clarifies that Leohart just asked her to be his dance partner at the ball and vanished after. Sounds like Leohart's hiding something big. Soon, the Royal Knights hold a military competition. Sophia's gorilla god makes her a battle deity, so to keep things fair, she's assigned to the rescue team instead of competing. Still, she's far from idle. In a supply-grabbing contest, teams need a powerhouse, a speedster hitting 40 km/h, a strong fighter, and someone trustworthy. Sophia checks every box, making her the ultimate prize. Louis, with his lightning-fast reflexes and boyfriend glow, snags Sophia for his team and clinches the win. Mid-competition, the Knights get word of a collapsed resort hotel nearby. With tourists swept into the sea, the whole squad snaps into action for the rescue. Thanks to their efforts, the travelers are saved. But then Sophia learns Carissa, who was vacationing there, is still trapped at sea. Panicked, Sophia dives in to save her, not even thinking about whether she can swim. At the critical moment, Louis pulls her to safety. They say love gives you armor and weaknesses. Just weeks ago, Louis lost a swim race to a guy blessed by an orca god, but with Sophia in danger, his potential kicks into overdrive, and he matches the orca guy's speed to reach her. After the chaos settles, Sophia and Louis steal a quiet moment together. Fireworks light up the sky, adding a romantic vibe. But, of course, Arshant picks the worst time to show up, playing the ultimate third wheel. Soon after, Sophia and Louis went on their first date, unaware that danger was creeping closer with every step. That night, after their date, Sophia and Louis were ambushed. Thanks to the gorilla god's protection, Sophia easily took down the two attackers, but to her shock, one of them, just before collapsing, smashed open a glass vial releasing an unknown gas. In an instant, Sophia felt all her strength drain away. At that moment, Leohart swooped in, forcing a pill into her mouth with a quick kiss. Meanwhile, a deafening explosion rocked the city as a bomb went off somewhere in the distance. When Sophia woke up, her memory was a blank. Leohart showed up, spinning a tale that she'd been attacked by thugs, poisoned, and that he'd brought her to a safe place to recover. Then, Leohart pulled out a glass necklace and introduced himself. He's the leader of a rebel group fighting against the king. His mission? To tear down the unfair system in their country. Sure, everyone gets an animal god's protection at 16, but not all animals are equal. Those with weaker animal gods are left to suffer under the noble's boots. Leohart and his crew grew up together in the slums. One day, Duke Namir approached him, offering food for all the slum kids in exchange for Leohart becoming his adopted son. Leohart didn't want to leave his friends, but the thought of the kids no longer starving pushed him to agree. Soon after, Leohart gained the leopard god's protection, bringing endless glory to Duke Namir's family. The Duke wanted Leohart to serve the nobles and cut ties with his slum friends, but the truth was darker. Duke Namir burned the slums to the ground and even killed Leohart's best friend to keep them from holding him back. After his story, Leohart dropped a bombshell. the leopard is the only animal that can hunt a gorilla, making them an unstoppable duo in battle. Before Sophia could process it, Leohart forcibly swapped her necklace for the glass one, demanding she join his rebellion. Furious at seeing the necklace from her loved one destroyed, Sophia lashed out at Leohart. Knowing she was no match for him, she seized her chance and bolted before he could react. Leohart, blessed by the leopard, lives up to his speed. He beats Sophia to the school, aiming to hold the noble kids hostage and force their parents to join his cause. The royal knights get wind of this and rush to the school to save the day. Sophia arrives and immediately frees her classmates. Together, they rescue students from other classes. Meanwhile, Arshant and Eddie show up. When they learn Louis is already facing off against Leohart in the school chapel, they head over to back him up. On their way, they run into an enemy blessed by the ant, who can lift objects 100 times his weight. Giant boulders come flying at them. Thanks to Sophia's gorilla blessing, they dodge the first few attacks with ease, but then the enemy hurls a massive bell from the clock tower, scattering the group. Sophia crashes into the chapel with the bell and sees Louis defeated by Leohart. Leohart thinks Louis is the only thing stopping Sophia from teaming up with him. Kill Louis, he figures, and Sophia will join him. Together, they'd be the ultimate power couple, rewriting the nation's rules. Sophia's not a fan of people judging others by their blessed animals, but she believes there's a better way to change things. She rejects Leohart flat out. Furious, Leohart decides to kill her and wait for the next gorilla-blessed person to show up. At the critical moment, Love pushes Louis to fight through his pain and take on Leohart again. He's no match for Leohart's raw power, though. Just then, Adler arrives with Eddie and Rifleman in tow, but Leohart's too fast. Bullets can't even lock onto him. Louis switches to brains over brawn, transforming into a squirrel. He scrambles up to the chapel's crystal chandelier, planning to drop it on Leohart. Sophia catches on and syncs up with his plan. With a massive crash, Leohart goes down, injured, and is finally captured. The anti-king organization gets crushed by the royal knights. In the end, Louis graduates from school and becomes a full-fledged knight. Naturally, he also becomes Sophia's knight forever. Congrats, you've binged another anime on my channel. Drop your rating in the comments below. I've got tons more awesome anime recaps on my channel to keep you entertained during those boring moments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you in the next video.